construction period that we're looking at.
But the drainage improvements, right now, your plan, the schedule is to have that going on next construction season, 2021?
The next 2 construction seasons would be partially of each year for the drain, yes.
And roughly, can you give me an idea as to when you think these signs would be ready?
They would like to start with shop drawing submittals today. And then we have an April 15th date of substantial completion. The thought is to have the underground work completed yet this construction season, fabrication starting with the more ornate portions and the visual signs, with the landscaping and such occurring in the spring, once weather was more conducive to it.
Okay. My concern is, or the reason for my questioning is I'm hoping that we have the improvements of the infrastructure done either concurrently or before the sign. I think this project is, it's more important to get the infrastructure improvements done along with or at the same time or before the signage. I mean, the signs are great. When the mayor showed me these drawings, I was very impressed, and I think it's really something that the city will be proud of once it gets done, and it will really change the look of that street and really draw attention to that area. So I think it'll be good for that commercial district there. But I also think that the improvement of the drains and the other things that we're doing there are just as important or more important than the signage. So I hope that we stay on schedule for those things so it looks like they're going on at the same time and completing the project at the same time as the signage is getting done, the infrastructure is getting improved too.
Our hope would be that the signs are complete come spring, substantial completion, and then we roll into with the new contractor. So this would be a separate contractor to start with the enclosure is our hope for the first phase for next year in the spring.
Okay.
We don't want to overlap too. They're in separate areas, but we don't want 2 contractors out there too. You get into some finger pointing, and we want one done and bring in the next.
Okay. Mayor?
Chairman, just as a matter of information, one other dynamic that we're working on right now on Eureka Road is the LED light conversion as well. So you may have seen some cones on the west side of Eureka Road on the west side of Telegraph. They are working on that. When those are complete, we're going to have a proposal before you, this board, hopefully at the next meeting, for the east side of Telegraph along Eureka Road. And we're trying to get that out of the way simultaneously as well before once the major construction along the Frank and Poet drain, I suspect is going to be pretty disruptive. So we're trying to clear as many projects as we can to kind of clear the way for that to occur.
And I guess one last comment, and I've already made this comment to the mayor, is I am not in support of a brick paver installation. I've seen too many places where freeze and thaw happens over the years and it gets just in disrepair, and I think we're looking for trouble by doing brick pavers as part of this project. So I want to go on the record as being against brick paver, and I think we should look at stamped concrete or some other type of hard surface than brick pavers by these signs.
Mr. Chairman, I agree 110%. So I think we're in line there. I think there's so many other options that become less of a headache for maintenance, less liability, and just overall a better product. So
it's a good look, but after a certain period of time, they get in disrepair, and no one ever repairs them once they get that way. So, any other comments or questions? Hearing none, we have a motion by Mr. Perret, supported by Ms. Turecki. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item number 10 is a motion to approve weight trim for professional construction oversight, testing, and construction engineering services for the amount not to exceed $126,900.
Make a motion.
Motion by Ms. Croft.
support.
Support by Mr. Perret. Any discussion? Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, again, I just asked Kelly if she could stay down for a minute, if you'd like an overview related to any of this, but I think we pretty much covered most of it in the item above it, so.
I have no questions. Anyone else? Hearing none, we have a motion by Ms. Cross, supported by Mr. Prey. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Motion carries. Item number 11 is open business.
Mr. Chairman, not a lot of open business, although while we have Kelly here, the one project that's kind of been teed up separate from all the Eureka Road discussion is Van Born Road. There's been some delays. I think we finally have a little bit of movement. Again, if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to allow Kelly to come up and just give the board kind of a high-level update on where we're at and where we're going with the Van Born Road project.
Sure. Kelly?
Thank you, through the chair. We do have, if you recall, there was a significant study completed along the corridor, and then we had some short-term goals, some long-term goals that developed and arose out of that. We also developed a steering committee that included representatives from both the City of Taylor and Dearborn Heights. And that committee has evolved. I believe there are some changes now because there has been some time since they've last met. I did attend a Zoom meeting with Dearborn Heights at one point because we did have a proposal to address one of the first elements under the short-term action goals, and that was to develop a cohesiveness between the two communities for the development along that corridor that would gauge new development as it's coming in. And that proposal was to be considered by both parties. And during that meeting, there was some concern or inconsistencies that there was some questioning about whether the City of Taylor was on board with proceeding. And basically it was suggested at the end that a joint Zoom meeting be held between Dearborn Heights, TIFA of Taylor, and City Council of Taylor as well. And I believe we're actively trying to coordinate that meeting right now to make that happen. Just I think to reiterate and emphasize that there is equal support on both communities to proceed with some of the improvements. And then I believe, I'm not sure if a letter of support was being considered too from the City of Taylor and TIFA to be directed to Dearborn Heights. Just to emphasize again that we are in favor, we'd like to proceed, and let's get on the same page. But that was the first kind of element. We thought if we can get that movement going, reestablish the steering committee, and start some of the discussions again.
Mr. Chairman, I'll talk to Kelly after the meeting to determine if a letter is still needed. I think with the Zoom meeting planned that's coming, I think that will likely solve some of the outstanding issues. But somewhere along the line, somebody somehow communicated back to Dearborn Heights that basically the City of Taylor was not interested in proceeding. And all along, we've been kind of waiting on deck for them to get on board. So I'm not sure where the wires got crossed, but they did. I think, unless I hear different from the TIFA board, I know that this was certainly a project of interest for TIFA, and I believe the same still holds true for City Council. So we'll invite each of you or the members back from the committee to participate in the Zoom meeting, but I think that ultimately it should be back on track shortly after.
Thank you for the update. Any other open business?
Through the chair, Ian's, in your package, we put some pictures together. We kind of wanted to show some of the things that we accomplished at Lakes of Taylor. I know that the TIFA board's been nice enough to help fund us a lot of these concerns that we had at the golf course, and to let you know that we're moving forward. There also might be some promotions and some things that we're doing at the golf course level to increase sales. So with that, I'll let Ian kind of go over the pictures with you.